Hey, what's good, YouTube? We're coming at you, bringing you a new video. It's crazy, I know. I did 2 days in a row of videos, and they're both vlogs. What you guys are going to watch today is a vlog that I am extremely excited to do. I'm going to tell you guys what I think should be and what I want to see in the new Call of Duty title that was just announced, Call of Duty Black Ops 3. And if you guys don't know the Black Ops series, the first Black Ops was, in my opinion, was a pretty solid game. It was a good foundation for what Black Ops 2 was made off of, and Black Ops 2 was my favorite Call of Duty to date, for pubs, for league play, and for competitive, because it was my first game where I really got an interest in playing competitive. Usually I just play public match on, just play public match with some friends for fun. I wouldn't even do good, and then I got into Black Ops 2 and I got into competitive headquarters. That's how it started, the game mode headquarters. I got really competitive in that, and I was trying to get on a team, and I worked so hard to get on this team. I actually didn't even get on until Call of Duty Ghosts and headquarters was gone. But I played some game battles on Black Ops 2, and it just felt so right for me in a competitive sense, and I haven't stopped since. So here's what I really want to see in Black Ops 3 from all perspectives. First off, 100%, I want to start with public match. I am a huge public match enthusiast. I love public match. It's where I started. It's where it all originated from. I loved playing pubs through every single CoD title, except for Ghost and except for Advanced Warfare. Ghost was not one of my favorite games because of how fast you killed and how fast you got killed, and especially because of the kill streaks. Something that I don't like to see, and I don't want to see in this game, is support kill streaks. I hate support. It literally takes 0 skill to get a support kill streak. The support means that you need 10 kills to get a kill streak, but as long as you get 10 kills, you can die in between. It really takes no skill. People are calling out these crazy kill streaks. They're not even like fun, like system hack. Like in Advanced Warfare, is something ridiculous. It just EMPs you and blocks your sight of view. You can't even see anything when you're playing. It's a stupid kill streak. And it ruins public match, and that's all I get into in games anymore, is people running support, going like 10 and 20, dropping these streaks on us, and I just get frustrated. So streaks, I want to see them fixed. I want to see some more skill back in Black Ops 3 public match. I'd like to see headquarters return because I was a huge fan of that, but I want to see things like Lightning Strike and Hellstorm and, like precision streaks and stuff that you don't use support for, and stuff that takes a lot of skill to get and a lot of points to get at the same time if you go back to score streaks versus kill streaks. In public match, building off that, I want to see league play back. Ghost tried to do it, and Sledgehammer tried to do it with AW, and they really could not compete. I guarantee that it's a Treyarch trademarked item where only Treyarch can do this, but league play, the original league play with the different divisions, with the different ranks, and you have all the guns unlocked when you go into the lobby, and you can make a team, and you search, and you don't get to back out of lobbies, and if you leave, you get penalized and you get deranked, and people cared about that rank, and everyone tried to get into Masters. It was hugely competitive. I really want to see that back in Black Ops 3. A Black Ops 3 League play would be insane. I think that everyone would enjoy it. A lot of pro players used to play like Road to Master Division, and they would play like with their subscribers, and I thought it was a great way that the competitive community could get some good practice if you were up and coming, if you just wanted to play as a team and see if you can get Master Rank 1. It was insanely fun. So the next thing I want to see in competitive is a lot. There's a lot that I want to see in competitive that I'm really looking forward to. In Advanced Warfare, Exos and jetpacks were kind of crazy introduced. Double jumping, dashing, sliding, hitting, hitting instead of stabbing with a knife. Boost slamming. In AW, I hate boost slamming. I play tactical, so when I click my stick, like when I click this, it boost slams, and I have this programmed as B so I can panic knife, and I can't change that around. I just can't do it. It's too burned into my brain. I've been playing it for way too long. So I'll be running around using my joystick, and I'll put a lot of pressure to because that's just how I play, and I'll accidentally click it and I'll boost slam and I'll lose the gunfight. I hate that maneuver. It's literally useless in my opinion. It makes you fall a little bit quicker, but you lose all your momentum when you're running. You lose all your momentum with your gun up, and even if you boost slam on someone's head, you might pick up a kill every 3 or 4 games with it. It's so useless. It's stupid. Second, that I don't want to see in Black Ops 3 is double jumping with the boost, because there's so many times where I'll run into a face-to-face gunfight, and instead of the regular jump, someone will double jump off your screen and hit fire you and kill you. And it's some fast-paced game mode. I agree. I really do like the fast-paced game mode, but I can't keep up with two people running at me, one jumping, and then it's a guarantee I can't get a double kill. And I don't like that because it's really sometimes it's coordinated, but sometimes it's just BS overpowered, and I feel like it really messes with the hit detection sometimes. So I don't want to see double jumping. I do like dashing though. I think dashing is a hugely, great object that you can use, especially in games like Search when you're peeking and you dash a corner back. It's really frustrating to play against, but it's great strategy. I don't like double jumping in Search because you could just peek bomb and snipe it so easily. And I don't like the fact that you can like toss nades all the way across the map with these like strong arms. Like you can do it in all the other games, but it just seems like in this game that you can literally hit the other person's spawn from your spawn and Search. So Exo, they said that Black Ops 3 is going to come out with an Exo ability, or not Exo abilities, but movement not seen in any other COD. So they're not going back to traditional. They're not sticking with Exos. They're going to do something unique to their own. I do respect that because it's pretty hard going off the limb for a traditional Call of Duty and hoping that the community likes it. So a lot of respect to them for trying to do that. Like I said, if I were to see anything, I would like to see just dashing and sliding, and the punch was pretty cool compared to a knife because you couldn't just lunge knife and you couldn't lunge punch. So, or you can lunge knife, but you can't lunge punch. So I'd like to see that come back. Going into maps, 3-laned maps with not too much vertical gameplay. Some maps are good when you have like a second story window, but when you start getting second story and third story, and then like a window here and a window here and here, and you have to watch all this stuff, it just gets to be a running around with your head cut off type of game, and that kind of strategy works. 3-lane maps are insane. How well they work, because if you have a 3-lane map, especially for Search, and you put A bomb in one lane and B bomb in another lane, well, you gotta stack 2, 1, and 1, or you gotta take a risk and stack 3, 1, and none on this lane. It really adds a sense of, if you stack 2 people at A-bomb and they 4-push A, you have to strategize to, rotate around and get cuts. And when you have a 3-lane map like that, especially on a lot of respawns, it's pretty easy to hold down lanes for, depending on the respawn. But, it's pretty easy for the AR to do their jobs and to everyone to have a role and not everyone just be in like a mosh pit. I want to see Hardpoint, CTF, S&D, Uplink, maybe if they do have boosting, but I don't really want to see that. I do not like domination. I do not like game modes in which you can get spawn trapped. I do not think that takes much skill as much as it takes just to set up and to just hold down a spawn with an LMG off of like that setup. And that was really big in Call of Duty Ghost. Domination was a comp game mode, and I never understood that, because if the other team had 2 bombs, they knew where you were spawning, and they can trap you in a little bubble without breaking that spawn and making you flip. So I don't want to see a game mode in which you can get spawn trapped like that, especially in Blitz was the same thing. If you overextended a certain way, you knew exactly where they were spawning in Blitz. So that was not fun. Ghost was a spawn trap haven, and if you had a nice shot with an AR and your AR was really good, it was over because of spawn traps, and you can be up with so many amount of points in game modes and see so many chokes because of these spawn traps. Just the game being based off of spawn setups instead of individual gun skill. So I want to see maybe Hardpoint. I don't want to see 4 game modes again. I don't want to. I like the 3 game mode rotation. It makes it so much easier in best of 3s. There's so much less to focus on. You don't have to focus on 4 different game modes. It takes a lot of stress out of it. I definitely want to see S&D come back. So on top of that, I'm gonna get a little bit pickier. I love how the kill feed's in the bottom left corner. I love how the heads-up display is. I love how the map's in the top left. Something that blew my mind in Ghosts that I never liked is in Ghosts, your scoreboard was in the top right, and it was constantly up. You were constantly reminded what your KD was. You were constantly reminded what all that stat garbage. So you saw who was below you and above you. It was insane. It made the game so much of a stat game that no one would play for the win. People would play for stats to look good, and that's why there weren't a lot of AM teams that rose to the top during Ghosts, because it was a stat whore game. And obviously you can look at scoreboard just by hitting the back button, but to have it always in the top right corner of your screen next to the kill feed that you're always looking at, it just kind of didn't seem like a team-based game. I would like to see scoreboards like Halo has, in which you cannot see the KD, you cannot see who was on top, who was on the bottom, you cannot see any of that. You don't see that till the end of the game, and that makes you focus on the game a little more and to get a little bit more knowledge of what's going on. And if you're losing in Hardpoint, you don't look at your stats and say, hey, I have to kill more. You have to look at your stats, or you have to look at the scoreboard and say, or the time and be like, hey, I have to push hill more. Like, that's just what I'm not doing. Instead of focusing on killing, you got to focus on playing the objective more and playing as a team more. I think that kind of scoreboard would be fantastic, and it would be a great addition, and people wouldn't look at stats so much, and I feel like there'd be a lot more teams to rise to the top of the scene. Um, as far as the meta, the best games worked out as having a really dominant sub and a really dominant AR, and then a slightly sub-dominant AR, and then a slightly sub-dominant sub. And the sub-dominant guns took more skill to use, and the dominant guns were, what you had to play against. And it was really only what you saw in Black Ops 2 was the M8 was the dominant AR, and the MSMC was the dominant sub. And then you would look into the Scorpion would be the dominant sub gun. If you were really good and you had accuracy and you could long range use a Scorpion, that was huge. And then if you were good with the AK on Black Ops 2 with an AR, you had a lot of room to not four burst, but use that traditional AR style. And in Ghost, they only had one AR that was good. It was just the Remington, and then there was like a really good sub, the MTAR. And for some reason, my computer monitor just shut off. Oh, there we go. And then they introduced the Vector, and that was a melt machine. So I really want to see, like a dominant AR that people can use, and then a sub-dominant AR that can also be used for different situations on maps. And same thing with subs, but nothing too overpowered, nothing melt-worthy, nothing that they have to, start adding patches and adding stuff right away into the game. I'd like to see as dedicated servers as you can get. Obviously, that's something that we always look forward to when you're playing teams and you're playing off each other's hosts. Especially in public match, it's noticeable that the host is going to be that dominant player. I'd like to see those dedicated servers come into play that they always promised us. Competitive score streaks, it worked out in Black Ops 2. It hasn't worked in any of the other games since, and really before that I can really remember. But I'd kind of like to see a nice score streak come in, or kill streak that took a lot of skill, especially in the competitive community, to use. Especially when you have players that shouldn't be, going on 6-7 kill streaks that do that and being like in their roles. So I like to see that. Campaign line, I can't really talk about much. I haven't played the campaign in this game, AW. I've played every other campaign, and I've loved them, but they kind of get a little bit more and more far-fetched, and it's kind of just like you killing 150 guys by yourself. I don't really like that crazy. But I'd like to see some sniping missions in the campaign. I love the CoD 4 and the Modern Warfare 2 snipe missions where, you had the army crawl around, and if you got spotted, you played on veteran, you play that so, slowly and tactically. It was pretty fun. I'd like to see that in the campaign. Zombies, I think, was announced. I love zombies to death. In this game, I don't like it. I bought the first pack on Advanced Warfare. I didn't really care for the zombies. They had some weird special zombies that they added. They just got to keep it back to what it was. 5 rounds of regular zombies or 4 rounds of regular zombies, and then a special infected round for ammo. It was a beautiful balance that Black Ops 1 started, Black Ops 2 carried on, and Black Ops 3 should carry on because they are the original creators of zombies. So I really do want to see that. I don't think they're going to do Spec Ops or anything like that, but that was pretty fun if you had the right levels and the right people that you were playing with. And of course, I want to see updated graphics, I want to see realistic maps, I want to see good hit detection and everything like that you want to see in a good CoD game. And then, I know Treyarch's really good about listening to the community. That's probably the last thing I'm going to touch on because I'm kind of running out of topics. We're running out about 14 minutes. Just listen to your community. That's so big. I hope the pro players can end up becoming a community within themselves, because pro players have a lot of influence on stuff like guns that they want to ban and perks and stuff. They just don't. If they refuse to play it at events, it'll eventually get banned because they have a lot more power than they think. Right now, Sledgehammer determines the gun patches, and they determine the patches that come out for the MLG scene, and they don't even play MLG. It should be like the pro players should be able to decide that. So I hope that's a big thing. I hope there's no overpowered things like overpowered stuns or overpowered EMPs or overpowered score streaks that are easy to get. I don't want to. I mean, every single COD, you get kind of hyped when it first comes out. You start getting kind of BS'd on it, and then you hate it, and you always want to go back to the old COD. But I always want to go back to Black Ops 2. That's been my favorite game. It's been my first competitive style game, and it's something that I can't wait to be playing on again. Especially if it's the little bit slower pace than AW, Oh god. My bad, guys. It's like midnight and I just worked and came out of school. I got school in the morning. But I'd like to see that little bit of a slower game pace or slower game mode where you have like traditional roles like an anchor and subs, and it takes a little bit more skill to get stuff done. Those were the fun tournaments to watch, and those were the you get like a three-piece. It was um, a little bit more rewarding than the past games in which you just melt people off their spawn and call it a three-piece. And I think something else I want to touch on last thing, guys, I promise, is the 40 bomb, 50 bomb, 60 bomb, what I want to see. I can't remember what was a good game in Black Ops 2. I want to say it was probably like in the 30s and 40s. And Ghosts, if you hit 40, you were insane. And then in AW, like 40s, like usually one person on the team always drops 40. And so I want to see the norm to be 40s the hard number to get. 30s should be like what every team's getting. 20 and 10 is not that good, and if you're hitting 50, you should be like 100% pro. I don't want to see this fluky online, every other game, every other host you can drop 50, but on this host you can't. I want to see like more consistent, like the best player on the team, the Slayer, should be dropping 40, and then the supports in the AR should be dropping 30, and then the OBJ should be dropping 25 plus. So I want to see a nice kill death gap. And again, with that scoreboard thing, I don't want to be able to see the scoreboard till the game's over. But other than that, guys, I hope you enjoyed this vlog. It's been a long vlog, but I did want to get this out there because this is a pretty important topic. We got 5 or 6 more months till the game comes out still. So a lot of reveals are going to be coming up, a lot of stuff like that. I'm going to be doing a lot of stuff with competitive still, trying to go out to events. Probably going to be playing a little bit of Star Wars Battlefront when that comes out. Looking forward to that game. And might pick up Mortal Kombat, might pick up a game or two here. But thanks for watching, guys. If you liked the video, make sure to like, favorite, comment, subscribe. Leave in the comments what you guys would like to see in Black Ops 3, and YouTube will catch you later.